All right, today we are going to dismantle this toy chainsaw. Ah, yes, I know you can't wait. You love taking things apart. Or at least you love these taking this apart. Yeah, basically, we're just gonna do some exploratory dismantling and see what I can use out of this and what I'll be able to keep or need to keep in order for us to make that dog. Pochita? Pochita. I think it's Pochita from Chainsaw Man. Lots of cool stuff here. Lots of stuff going on. This isn't actually a pull. It's just like a little lever or button of some kind that makes a noise. So I'll have to figure out a way to emulate that. Pochita also has a sort of a handle up top, which is much larger, and a handle kind of sticking out the back with its tail being a kind of the pull thing. So yeah, lots to explore here. And then the on-off button, I'll probably have to relocate that too, maybe to his belly. I'm gonna try to keep as much of this intact as I can. Just because it's already a very solid structure, and the batteries being on the belly would be a good idea. So maybe I'll just build around this and take parts off that I don't really need and figure out a way to incorporate stuff that I do need in a way that'll make it tie in with the figure. So it looks like there's a lot of very tiny screws mounted in here. Let's start with the batteries, so we'll just make quick work of these. Okay. Okay, so it's not a momentary switch. It's got a click and a spring. Okay, so there's a screw there, screw there, screw there. There's quite a few. So let me dig out my very small screwdrivers. So what I have here is what basically amounts to an iFixit kit, but the sort of cheap brand. I think this one's called a Strabito. Yeah, I don't know. I got it off Amazon pretty cheap. It's not bad. It's got all the little tools I need, so it does the job. Let's go with this one. This one looks pretty good. What are these two? Let's try this one first. I don't like to use those super thin ones because they have a tendency to strip stuff, so. Can I get in there? I don't know. That's too fat. That's too fat. Not looking good. Might have to figure something out. I might have to resort to what we call in the business little brute force. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to open these up a little bit with a Dremel so I can get to the screw and take it apart. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to. This thing's sealed pretty good, I have to say. It's pretty impressive, actually, for a little cheap piece of plastic. All right, I'll be back with the Dremel. All right, I decided not to do the Dremel because I've got drill bits, and that's faster, and I've got a giant drill, and everybody likes drill time. So let's just say laziness will find the way. Uh-oh. Let's put a little bit more torque on that. Come on. Drill it out, maybe? So here's the guts. All right, cool. There's a really cool little speaker. This looks like some kind of, I don't know what this is, maybe some sort of throttle or tensioner for the chainsaw piece. Yeah, that's probably it. Looks like, feels like the chainsaw bits are made of rubber. That's cool. Oh, look at that. That is a tensioner. That's pretty cool. That's what the spring is for. All right. There you go. That's our power button. Or not our power button, but our, here's the power button, right? Right here. Comes around this way. This is a momentary switch. And that's to operate the chainsaw. So this gives it power, and this just lets it go, sends the power to the battery, and starts running that little speaker. And then looks like, if you look real close, right in there, down in there. See if I can focus. There's a tiny little spring. Let me see if I can get a better focus on it, and I'll point to it. We'll use this handy dandy pointing rod. I don't know why I'm putting lines on it. Maybe I thought that would help. So let's get back to business. Let's look at here. I'll see if I can focus in with some light. All right. So this part, you're supposed to pull it, but you're not supposed to yank it out there's no cord, right? This is just fake. Obviously, it's a toy. But you pull on that just a little bit, and that gives you the sort of starting noises like you're yanking on it, which that's going to be important later. But the way it works is it's tied to this little screw here. There's a switch, looks like right about there. See that? Where I'm pointing? Right there. And underneath that switch is a little spring, a little tensioning spring, kind of like this one, but a smaller version. So I know it's hard to see. You can kind of see it there, right in there. There's your tensioning spring. You see it? It's hard to get it focused, but right there. And if you see me pull on it, let me see if I can. There's the spring. It's a very small one. Hardly, there we go. See that? See me pulling on that right there? And then right above that, there's that little switch. So right in here. There's this part, the switch screwed in, and there's the switch, and then there's the spring. But I think we spent enough time on that. So I think what we've got here is a very good starting point. Because of the way Pochi is shaped, though, it looks like I'll probably have to cut a lot of this top section off, but I think I'm going to keep a lot of this. I will remove these little extra bits because they're just going to be hidden underneath something. I may as well use them for something. Let's try and get those out. You know, more greeblies for later. That's a nice one. Let's see, where's that other one? Right here. That's underneath the blade. So I'll have to unscrew the chainsaw blade to get to it, which looks doable. I don't want to unscrew this part, but it looks like the two main screws, thank goodness this one isn't the only one holding that on. And I've got replacement screws I can probably use. Hopefully this doesn't pop the whole thing apart, but it looks like this is just attaching it. And without messing up the tensioning on that spring too much, let's get in there. So these are just some more pieces that are not really used for anything. Okay. Oh, good. All right, so that's the tensioner. Oh, you really get into the mechanics of this thing. There's that tensioning device. Pretty nice. Yeah, and then the motor's right there with a series of gears coming in and operating it. And it looks like there's probably a gear in here. Oops, there goes the screw. Don't want to lose those. But anywho, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Is that actually threaded? No, I don't know. Is there a socket in there? Oh, it's a hex. All right, so this hex actually turns, I think. Or does it? Kind of looks like it does. Yeah, it does. So that's the drive shaft right there for that. All right, so what I want to get is this piece off right here. All right, there we go. Now we got 2 little extra greeblies for something. Greeblies! I think I'm going to relocate this switch somewhere. I don't know where, but I think I'm going to have to get rid of this handle. But at least I know where I need to go and what I can avoid destroying. But yeah, look at that screw. It's real trashed up. That's all me. That was my fault. But that's what happens sometimes when you're trying to figure stuff out. I wanted to kind of incorporate this kind of device into the tail. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that from here. It doesn't, where does it? Okay, so it looks like it just makes contact to that wire. That wire goes to this little soundboard, I guess, and that's where the noises come from. So I can probably unscrew that and come back around. But like I said, I want to keep the majority of this body intact because I don't want to have to rebuild the mechanics of this stuff too much. So moving a couple switches around, not too big a deal. Having to rebuild the whole thing from scratch is kind of a pain. Looks like there's another piece I can take off here. Yet another greeble. Any others? Any others? I guess this little thing here. Looks like it's part of a bit of some stuff we can take off. Here we go. Did I break this? No, actually it's not broken. Cool, can use that. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is, for now, until I can find a better solution for this, I'm going to reassemble it. And what looks like I'm going to have to do is cut this whole tail section off. Keep this round bit, hopefully intact. Let's see if I can get it screwed on here without messing it up too much. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully not harder than it looks. Okay. Good. Looks like it's going where it's supposed to go. We'll give it a test run real quick. Make sure it's still functional. So that would be kind of defeating the whole purpose of this if I broke it enough to where I can't even use it anymore. Okay, looks like these are in nice and snug. Let's give it a quick test run. Now that we know all the inner workings. So power button first. You know what, so I don't have to deal with the batteries falling out, because they will fall out. I guarantee you, that's just my luck. And let's put some of this stuff away. By the way, if you guys are interested in a kit like this, I mean, I know iFixit has some really good ones. presumably. I don't know. I've never purchased one personally. But this one was pretty cheap. I think it was probably like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, less than 30. So a lot cheaper than the iFixit ones. Probably not as good quality. I mean, I don't know. I really hope that wasn't a spring that was from something I needed. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? I think it was from this. It was from the switch. Well, we'll just put that there. Some screws I need. I need to put this all together again. All right, real quick. Let me just hit it with a little air. Uh-oh. Not a lot of air pressure. Oh well. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll just very carefully tip it over and leave it on the floor. I'll use my mouth. It's the garage. I can sweep the floor later. All right now. All right. Let's put this back up. Don't lose any of those. Let's get our chainsaw battery cover in here. All right, so there you go. There's the guts. I might even be, I mean, this battery pack's a kind of a whole separate unit. All of this is kind of, you know, but like I said, I don't want to have to rebuild a lot of this. So I think we can use this as a good frame to build everything off of. But let's test it, make sure it's still working. There's the power button. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. This part doesn't seem to be working anymore. Uh-oh. Did the wire come loose? Are they crossed? No, they seem to be intact. Oh, there it goes. Weird. And then there you go. I'm hoping that speaker doesn't get drowned out, buried under all that EVA and foam clay, so you might have to relocate it. Maybe face it downward on the belly with the rest of it. We'll see. Maybe I could stash it under here somewhere. All right, I think we're off to a good start. Let's turn this puppy off. How do I turn this off? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to work. So now imagine this with no back, a snout, and we'll probably saw this little bit off, I think. It looks like there's some extra pieces here I could take off. And I'll put a picture of Pochita. I've already put one up before, but just for somebody who may not have seen the previous video, we'll put one over here to give you an idea what we're building. Again. And it looks like there's a lot of pieces on the outside too that I could probably just remove that aren't really going to be necessary, but in general, I think we're in good shape here. As long as we don't you know, trash it up too much. And then whatever I need to do, if this thing isn't sealing right, I'll be able to glue it all back together. So imagine this part cut off. There's a little snout here. And let's see, what can we use for legs? Let's say these are legs here. And we'll call these legs. Probably something like that. Wait, probably can't see it from that angle. Yeah. Ta-da!
Trust the process.
All right. Yeah. So we're off to a good start. Like I said, got a lot of spare parts out of it. Yay. Took it apart, figure out how it works. Looks like it's going to be doable. A1 on that. And yeah. I'm liking where this is going. Uh-oh. I'll have to find a better screw for that battery cover. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. We have made what they call progress. Catch you later. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey man, your choice. I don't really care. Kind of care. Sort of care. All right, I care. I'm going to go ahead and admit it. It would be nice if you did. Not going to twist your arm. That would hurt. Like and subscribe.